stay connected was fine, but the confront the problem was little risky, I thought.
No, no,
And
no, no,
you
it was
found
it
the
in
success,
one,
so it's
no, no, in one aspect in the office it gives success. The problems got resolved. In other things, confronting the problem, it created some more problems.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
happened
the
with
risk.
me also earlier, but I didn't tell you.
So and let it happen. So it will get resolved. Obviously, yes.
Then somebody said, "Are you the same person?" What happened?
No, 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 not that way. But people, if you sometimes you confront, they don't like it. They,
Yeah,
they
yeah, it
they
happens.
think that you are blaming them, you are taking
Yeah.
them to task, you are
Hmm.
criticizing all those things.
Right,
I
right.
complained. The issue is I complained about one issue to the one person's superior is in Bangalore. So that he got nervous because I was not satisfied with the work. So this thing went on. So then I changed myself. So I corrected myself. Made things in a different way, approach in a different in a way. So it's all that was a good learning last week.
Yeah, continuous learning.
Yeah.
Right.
So the
So,
practical application is more important.
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
definitely.
yes, yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's
So,
it.
for me, I took fasting and consciousness. So, uh, first 4 days I could do a little bit fasting. I was having conscious eating, but last 2 days I did all messed up. And for consciousness, so a very beautiful moment happened when just our last week when this meeting just ended and I went outside. So my husband and my children were just relaxing and watching TV. As I entered the hall, they all stand up and, hey, my husband start instructing you do this, like that. So that string particle theory came in my mind that, a particle behaves differently when you are not observing it. And the moment you start observing it, behave differently. So I connected it to the communication also that conscious communication is something is that you always have a remembrance that somebody is watching you. So then you will speak differently than that the non-consciousness that nobody is watching you, then you will speak differently. And uh, overall it was a fine week. One thing I noticed that I preach a lot to my son. I find that he's thinking that it's over now, now stop. So that I could hear from his silence. So that I have to control, and I worked on this. Okay, next, Prasanna ji.
Good morning to all. So my intentions for the past week were one was practicing humility, and the second one was purity of thoughts and actions. So I think with regards to practicing humility, I think I was quite successful because I think that something comes naturally to me. I don't know why.
Brother,
Generally,
your audio is not clear. Please, can you speak a little louder?
can you hear me now? Yeah, I was saying that
Yes, yes.
practicing humility, I think it was quite good. I was quite successful also. I would probably give 10 on 10 for that. But purity of thoughts and actions, sometimes in office or in professional life also, you cannot avoid some kind of anger or like what brother Vishwanathan said. Even I am someone who doesn't like getting confronted. So I need to kind of work on that. Actually, I every day in the past week every day I used to ask my wife because she is also a heartful communication facilitator. whether do you see any improvement in me or something like that. So she's saying you are still improving. So that is something which I need to work on.
Great. Sangeet ji, now it's your turn.
Very, very nice. Very good. Very good.
Thank
Well, it's tough to, Brother Prasanna, it's tough to have a instructor right at home,
you. Yeah,
to reach that all the time. And it's easy
yes,
also because you're all the time conscious also. She's
Yeah.
observing me, so I
yes,
have
Nee,
to.
even it is difficult for instructor also, no, because he is heartfulness communication instructor.
Yes, that's true. That's so. My intentions were to follow LPOC, that is speaking an even tone without, raising the pitch or the volume, and to pause before responding. Because I resonated with Sister Malti. I'm also like her, a very blunt person who gives it to the other person in very straight words, and it is a big problem. I have realized in my life that is the whole problem when you don't sugarcoat the words. So I have to learn that. And another thing I noticed is that nowadays I've started observing and correcting other people who are not following the principles of conversation, in the sense, those disruptors that we have if somebody speaks in between. Now that also I have to control, because I've started becoming a teacher. Don't let the other person speak. So that I have to control myself, that I don't start doing that to others and become a problem myself. Anyway, so this last week was very extremely hectic week for me, and I noticed that when things are moving at a normal pace, I am able to, achieve my objectives to some degree, because everything is normal. I am able to pause also. I'm able to speak in. But when things are in a fast-paced mode, when I have to manage many things at a certain time, and I'm under some kind of a pressure, that is the time where I failed utterly and miserably. You know, I snapped also at somebody, and I also had the thought that why aren't they getting it? It is so simple. Why aren't they getting it? So I have to work on myself really hard, that this has to be, whatever the situation, and my response has to be balanced and the same in all situations. If uh, if I change, when the real test is that only, that when things are not what they should be, that is the time when we have to be more aware and more conscious of following all these points that we have learned. So I have to work extremely hard, and I have been praying to Master to help me every day. I pray since so many months to help me change. Like Sister Malti said, my problem is the same as hers. So I'm trying very hard, and Master only has to intervene. I feel I'm trying, and now I need that divine intervention also.
Right. One more thing I want to share. My little son, no, used to play whole day. Actually, this game goes on that sometime he act like Mowgli and I have to speak like Balu the bear, or sometime he act like Krishna and I have to act like his Maya or Radha. So my roles change, and even this should be reflect on my voice also. So I play with him very dearly, but because this was a conscious week, I understand that, how well I can act with him. Now I am very perfect in acting Yashoda and Radha and Balu. So Maya is very polite and lovingly she deal with Krishna, and Radha always fight with him like that. So I thought it's very good in acting, but we in real life we think that no, uh, means we have to be real, we have to be, what I am, something like that. So it becomes very difficult for us to act. But with him, I whole day I play like Maya, and whole day I'm very polite and
Good,
never
good.
scold him.
So
So yeah,
nature
so
is helping you.
it was very for me it was very strange thing, because I don't like to be somebody else. But with him, I'm whole day playing like Yashoda, a very polite and generous lady. So sometimes Chariji also said na ki if you want to become someone, you should act like them. So he made me act like Yashoda and made me realize that I can be a polite person.
as well.
Yeah. Okay. So
But
shall we move
sister,
further?
this relationship with your son, it is based on love. So it is easy for him to accept. And we are also very loving with our family, with our children. But this feeling of love is not the same for others when we are dealing. So I feel, like just give, I do this, I give a thought at the start of my day that I accept everyone with love and humility. And when I meet people who are, I know, have their issues in the sense they expect certain things in communication, I go with this thought because love, respect, and humility, that is the communication should be based on. So I'm more conscious when I'm dealing with people who I know uh, have certain expectations from me when I am going to talk to them. So I just give this thought because I want to keep it on a good level, this communication with them. So I go with that and it helps. Ultimately, they expect certain things, and not only with them, with others also. When you're dealing with your house staff, just love and humility, respect for all. Just give a thought when you connect with yourself. That helps, but it's still consciously I'm working. It doesn't happen all the time, but when I know I'm dealing with people and these are going to come, then it is a very conscious effort because I know I have to get the work done. Then I make more effort, I feel. नहीं तो ऐसे वैसे I don't make that effort. I just go and do what I want to do. Then I land myself in trouble.
Right. Okay. So shall we start today's reading?
Yes,
Please,
yes.
please note down the important points or mark on the paper. Question, Master. Once in a talk, you mentioned that our mission will be known for unity. Could you say more, Master? How will that look, and what do we all need to do for that? Daji. Well, once I was reading complete works of Swami Vivekanand. During one of his talk, he praised various religions. For example, he said Christianity is very well known for the aspects of love and compassion, Hinduism for the principle of devotion, bhakti, Islam for the rock solid brotherhood. So at that time, the idea crossed my mind, how will Sahajmarg will be recognized in future? And I was entertaining this idea in my mind. After 2 or 3 days or so, I saw a message from Babuji from the Brighter World, and he said Sahajmarg will be known for its unity. So I was very happy to get this message. Though it was never written via the medium, over never proposed as a question to Babuji, just in entertaining the idea of how will we known in the future, I was very moved by the answer. And unity to us is what? It's not that we agree, but we happily disagree as sisters and brothers and work together so that our work can go to the next level. What is our work anyway? Spirituality gives sitting spread the message to as many location as possible, as many individual as possible. So we need to take any help from from as many people as possible. That's all there is to it. And one wonders how these differences crop up. I will give you one example. In Pune, one sister conducted a Brighter Mind program and she exceeded the time limit by a few minutes. Some preceptor took offense and started criticizing, saying now our Heartfulness events are becoming shows of Brighter Mind programs. If such criticism comes, you are defeating the purpose. I mean, we are not perfect people. There will be some hiccups here and there. We don't have to crucify our brother or our sister just because they took the liberty of speaking for 2 to 3 minutes extra. You see the impact of what they have done for you as a Bhyasi. It makes no difference, but let's see what the general public wants. If they are impressed with Brighter Mind, it is through this what we are trying to convey something. You have to look at it with the right perspective. Anyway, they are giving sittings. Besides sittings, we can also teach people pranayam. A lot of our abhyasis are attending yoga classes belonging to different organizations. It involves time, and as they have to go to some different venue, and they also end up paying money. If we are able to offer such program in our ashram, it can be a very good thing. Asana and pranayam, Babuji say they have to be adopted at some point during our practice. Yama and Niyama also have to be included in our practice. Look at volume 2 of Lalaji's work and you will see how elaborately he has discussed Yama and Niyama and how simply Yama is all about what not to do and Niyama is all about what to include and integrate in our life. Babuji Babuji says that they have to be included at some point. Why at some point? When you have evolved a little bit through your sadhana, when you are meditating, a meditative mind can understand very well what is not to be done, and especially how to incorporate and integrate certain values in life. A meditative mind can appreciate this very much, but if you start without understanding the way and how of yama and niyama, you will fail at the very first step. So it is a genius stroke by Babuji. Let's begin with dhyana. Sharpen your mind, sanitize your mind and heart so that you can appreciate the value system of our existence. They have to be included. In order to practice our yoga, dhyana, even to sit comfortably, you will have to do asana to make your body fit. Often, I get vertigo during meditation. When my head drops in certain direction or in a certain way, I get a spin. How do I get rid of it? I breathe very deeply, and ever since I started the pranayam practice of Anulom Vilom, this problem of vertigo has 99% gone. So, all these things are there for our health. It is only for our health that we have to do it. If you are healthy, then you don't need to do asanas. You are blessed ones. Consider yourself very lucky. But for people whose health is compromised, who are suffering, asanas will help. Pranayams definitely. And the only cautions, as Babuji say, is don't practice kumbhak, retention of breath in the lungs. That's all. Other things you can go on with it. I have personally tried a few minutes of deep breathing, just 2 or 3 minutes, then slowly relax and go into the meditation. It's very beneficial. Okay. So, question. So, Master, what you are really saying is that we need to learn to appreciate the real purpose and meaning of all this, as opposed of criticizing very quickly, and that will promote unity among all of us. Daji. Sahajmarg has been badly understood that it's only about dhyana. No, If you read the chapter Realization, Babuji in Reality at Dawn, you will understand what he really means. He has gone through details about sadhana, chatushtya, sat sampattis, ashtang yoga, types of samadhi, and based on our success, how to work as a functionary can be assigned by nature. It's beautiful how he has described it. We have to include all this at some point in life. If not now, when will you include it? Question. Yes, a few more questions, Master. How do we promote understanding of one another? Daji. Having a dialogue. Dialogues open simple with humility and respect, like you said. Daji. Have a dialogue, but to me, having a dialogue is also a misfortune in a true relationship. I don't think even a dialogue is required. When you say, let's do it, we have to clean up this ashram. And if you come up and say, Kamlesh Bhai, how many brooms we need, how many volunteers we need, brother, we only have three people here. Let's begin whatever we can. Start somewhere. More people will join as they see that a few key individuals are really working so hard. Even though they are old people, many youngsters will join. But when old people expect youngsters to do it and youngsters are not inspired enough to do it, things remain as they are. They deteriorate. So initiative and interest. Master, you have emphasized Lalaji's principle of conversation. How have you practiced it? And why are you so inspired by them? What effects are you seeing? Well, in order to apply Lalaji's principle of conversation, what is required first? What is the first step in this goal? This very special way of communication, soft, steady, without emotional burst, with a lot of affection and compassion in your conversation. The primary thing that is required is that I must listen first. When I listening, automatically the first thing that happens is that I'm already centering myself. I'm already focused within myself. And when you are focused within yourself, you will not use unnecessary words. You will be guarded as far as words are concerned. Attitude is concerned. Mood is concerned. But sometimes when you see something is going wrong, when you see that the interest of the mission is not being looked after, then in other moments you do feel hurt. And in that hurt, you express your hurt in the style you know the best. Sometimes it comes out as irritable words. Sometimes you express your anger in certain ways, but these are exceptional situations. It's not an every moment thing or an everyday thing or an every month thing. It happens once in a while, so we should not talk to exceptions. In general, our principle can be conversation oozing with lots of love. When we are talking with children, the and equal and elders. If you see the way Babuji used to talk even to a little child, we would address the child as Aap kaise ho? How are you? With a lot of respect for that little child. What will that do? The child will also re- reciprocate. A similar style of conversation will be seeded in the person you talk to. When a preceptor say, Aye, they are welcoming those people who come home for sitting. But if the preceptor start bombarding the person with, Oh, you are 10 minutes late. What the hell you were doing? Today is not your day of satsang, so why are you here today? In fact, The next question was on listening. Master, and you automatically spoke about it. Lalaji, this is question. Lalaji doesn't explicitly talk about listening in his principle, but what you are saying is that in order to manifest his style of conversation, the first step is listening. Daji, listening, question, and centering within ourselves. Daji, problems start in conversation because of this. For example, when a colleague of yours comes to you with a proposal, don't you have to listen? Or when you are having a conversation with your mother, don't you have to fully listen first and then respond? I have seen one very important thing at this later age in my life. Earlier, there were many suggestions coming from within me to the outside world. ऐसा करना चाहिए, वो करना चाहिए. That we must do this, we must do that. Now that has stopped, so there is not much of output. I am absorbing things more and more, meaning I am not evoking conversation from my side. Prashant, you must do this or you must do that. I'm quite inside. I'm not choosing this. Automatically, it is happening. It is a natural state of impose anything on anyone. You see, conversation means what you are either suggesting something, mostly it is so, proposing something or sharing something, some jokes or some experience you had. And why are you sharing experience with someone? What are you trying to show off? Either it is that, or you have some grudges against someone and you want to criticize, hence the conversation, or you want to praise someone, which is very rare. So, what are the exchanging in many of our conversation? If you see when you are meeting a friend or you are sitting with your wife, what conversation can happen? Interesting. Question is interesting, Daji. It has to be very vital. Don't waste your time in useless talk, even when you are praising someone. What is the use? It's going to hurt that person eventually. Question, why, Master? Daji, because the person will develop ego. You criticize someone, which is even worse, right? Then what are we talking? Question. So, with the years, you are finding yourself becoming quieter and quieter, but yet others are coming with proposal and idea. Daji, that you should see. Every time when you are sitting with me from morning to evening, I am receiving backs. Question. And what is your intention, Master? Daji. Nothing. I just let them purge their problem. It's simply by listening you can unburden somebody else. Why not? The moment you add fuel to it, it only becomes worse. Even a simple thing. For example, you are a preceptor and I come to you as an abhyasi for a sitting and I make a small statement. Sir, I received a sitting from Mr. Ramanathan. The sitting that you give, sir, is very good. It is simple conversation. Now, what are the consequences of such a conversation? You might end up talking to some other preceptor or abhyasi, saying, "Oh, this fellow was praising me so much. He said my sittings are better than Ramanathan's." See how you create problem with unity just by listening. Or someone says to you, "Sir, in this ashram they are not serving South Indian food." And you may not say anything at all. You are just listening at times. Even listening creates a problem. This Abhyasi will say, "Look, I have already told this to Prashant sir. He is very senior member of the mission and he has agreed with me. Just because you listen so at times you may have to say, okay, let's be grateful that at least some food is being served, which doesn't cost you any money at a personal level. So we have to say something at times, and most of the time we have to remain quiet. Quite. Question, quite. Very nice. Last question, Master. You have offered so much to us for us to reflect upon. We are going to be spending 3 days together on heartfulness communication, and many batches will come like this. Afterwards, what guidance would you have for us to make the best of this program and contribute to your vision? You spoke about Babuji's wish when you started this whole discussion. How should we make the best of this time? Daji, making the sankalp and creating condition from within for how to allow Lalaji's state to resonate in us. We have not seen him, but we can certainly feel his spiritual presence. We can invite him into our hearts and back. Please help us. I did like to set those standards which you have in mind in our hearts. So let's begin with this prayer. The second thing, the most important thing is this: when somebody is saying something, I don't interrupt. Let them finish, even though you know where this is leading to. Let it be completely purged out, and then if you have anything to suggest. Otherwise, wait till the other person asks you, Sir, what do you think? I just told you everything. Then ask them about what? What do you want to hear from me? Most people are conversing with us either to take our support or to fuel the issue further. As preceptors, the best thing is to stay quiet. Other situations are different. As functionary, also, it is not that we want to have no action. You will know what to do when. But listening in a state of absorbency is a marvelous thing. Then speak if you have to. If you have a solution, if you don't have a solution, tell them, look, this is an important problem. We will address it to master and see what he suggests. So we can stop many issues through a simple way of communication. Another important thing is what not to communicate, and this sensitizing Cessation can come only when we are meditative. Only meditative minds will have a particular state of heart condition. I mean to say a healthy spiritual condition, which will not allow any political games. And because of this, I think unity will be there. It's already very well stabilized in our mission. We are so united, and I'm sure our masters are very proud of it. But we can still take it to the next level. And some people who are still mischievous, they can learn and accept that, okay, I had better stop it now because if I remain mischievous, I am hurting my spirituality. I will not attain what the masters have promised me, though I think I have achieved it, but my way of life doesn't say so. They have to reflect more, and to those people who think they are doing very well, while that's great, we have to always upgrade ourselves. Versions are versions. Prashant version 5 and then final. So we should write our own Prashant version final. I would like to see your final version. Yes, Master, all of our final version. So think on that. Your final version, meditate over it. What would you like to see yourself as? That's what Babuji says. What would you like to see? Imagine what you would like to see in yourself in the world in the mission, then we can find the ways and the means to get there. Question. This is beautiful, Master. Thank you so much for your time and interest. Daji, thank you, Prashant. Question. I'm sure we will come back to you again as the program evolve. This is just an initial set of question and inspiration. Daji, thank you. Okay, so let's begin. What are the points uh, revealing aspects from the passages? Shavaji?
Oh. I mean, we have read earlier also this, but what is important that for me, apart from that, what Daji is practicing that deep breathing and that Anulom Vilom, even I have to do that because I have this issue. And this neck issue also I'm having. What he's saying that he, like, whatever is required, that only we should speak. And otherwise, we should remain quiet. So this is very important because sometimes just there's temptation to people are talking and we just join conversation, and after that we start feeling why I said so. So this is if we are connected or we are more conscious during our conversation, so we can prevent this unnecessary talk a lot. So this is quite valid for me. But I'm feeling, at least after coming this time from Kanha and joining this whole program, now I speak a bit less, quite less compared to earlier version. So there is some improvement, and I avoid a lot, especially this politics. And now earlier I used to say my version, whatever is my take on things. But now somehow I feel this is so useless. Like people have their own views, and I'm not going to change that. So why to waste my energy in convincing somebody to do something so like that? So this is important. What not to speak and what to speak for me,
Right,
and that definitely this Lalaji's principle of conversation. That is the something for me. It is a milestone to be achieved. I will still consider myself as the initial steps of that. So it's very important for me.
right.
Mhm.
Okay. Maltiji, anything you want to add?
Very similar. One, work on listening without interrupting in a total state of absorbency. That's what the master has said. That is the highlight. And what we can all practice is making the sankalpa, create a condition within so that it is easy to practice, implement LPOC, and don't interrupt any conversations. I think for this week, these three are something which I can. And this in general, I feel like this is a big exercise. So our final version, if we can just write it down, what we want to be, and then whatever we like from this, we can practice.
Right. Sangeetji, anything you want to add?
Yes, Master said that our goal should be that we should all converse. The conversation that we have with everybody should be oozing with a lot of love and respect. So when we will speak like that, then the other person will also reciprocate in the same manner. So that is a big goal for me, that you have to speak with love and respect and humility. I'll add humility to it also. And also avoid unnecessary conversation, as both Malti and Shama sister have said. Avoid unnecessary conversation. Don't get into unnecessary discussions. Listen more, talk less. And main actually to achieve everything, all these lofty goals, which should become a part of our life and which should just become a part of us, we have to remain in a meditative state. That is the main crux of the whole thing, that we have to always remain in a meditative state, connected within. If we manage to do that, if we achieve that level of constant remembrance, then master takes care of everything. Then nothing can go wrong. So that is our main goal. That's what I got from it.
Right. For me, pranayam was just the topic. Pranayam was a little quick check, something like that, because he said that don't, Babuji says is don't practice kumbhak. So nowadays, since 6 months I'm doing pranayam, but nowadays I was you know challenging myself on doing kumbhak. That today I did for 10 counts, tomorrow I will do for 20 counts, and I'm enjoying this actually, that I can hold it no so longer. Every day I'm just pressurizing my pressure, not pressurizing, I'm enjoying this thing. So he just said that we should not practice it. So maybe maybe this
Time to time.
maybe I was going in wrong way. Yeah. Prasanna ji, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, some of the points that I have noted down. First one is that Sahasmar will be known for unity. So for that, I think at the personal level also, everybody has to contribute towards that goal, not indulge in any gossiping or creating rifts between different zones or groups. And second one, even though in the interview Master was talking about pranayama and asana, I think the greater big picture, if you look at it, it is about physical fitness, right? So I think everybody has to invest some time out of the daily life in ensuring that they get their exercise, daily dose of exercise, whatever. And also this listening, as sisters also said, the first step in LPOC is to listen first. So that is a very different thing, I mean very difficult task for most of us, at least for me it is very difficult, but to start, I'm trying to cultivate that good habit. And also don't waste time in useless talks, again very helpful tip. And last, as Sangeet sister said, we have to try to remain in a meditative state always, so that also is a key takeaway from me.
Vishwanathan ji, do you want to add anything? I think you are mute.
Yeah, yeah, no, no. I just unmuted myself. The first thing is, you know, as Daji said, Christianity is known for love and compassion, Hinduism for devotion, and Islam for brotherhood. We have to pick up the good points from all the religions. All religions now will have to coexist. Whether I know the whole spiritual North is for that. So we all should work together and agree to disagree. And of course, we can always do some good asanas. I have decided to take one pranayama for next week because my wife is also a yoga teacher. So for to improve that thing, uh, how to promote understanding is to have a dialogue. This I am going to practice next week, and then listening with observance, as everybody pointed out, that is really worth following, and we should try to do it and observe. And when somebody is speaking, don't interrupt. That should be, of course, that I will implement in my office. Thank you.
Yeah. So there are some questions they have asked us to discuss on. First question is, what is Daji's vision of HC? So, Heartfulness Communication Vision. What is Daji's vision of SC? Anybody wants to put?
Yeah, uh, there should be complete harmony in the mission. That is his vision. All this communication exercise and all these things is that we communicate within ourselves in a better way, and there is complete harmony prevails. All the misunderstandings are removed. That is vision. This is my take.
Okay. Anybody?
I think what Raji is aiming at is that our inner condition, which we every day in the morning through meditation, what she gives us, we should not spoil it during the day through our conversation and through our interaction with other people. So I think the larger picture is this only what brother said, inner harmony. So that inner harmony should reflect in our outer harmony as well. It should reflect in our attitude. I think that is his main aim and goal while for this Etsy program, that our interaction with the world should not change our condition within, should not affect it. That's what I think.
Actually, what
Condition
you
should not. Hanji, Malti.
no, sorry. Go ahead. No, you were talking about Sister Sangeet. No?
हाँ, I just want to say what Sangeeta ji has said, that inner state should not be spoiled, means it actually, I feel that it should be like elastic, that sometimes it gets stretched, but when the tension release, it come back to its own shape. So uh, that elasticity we should develop in ourselves, that maybe condition get spilled in some time, but it come back as fast as that the situation goes down. Yeah, Malti ji.
Yeah. The main idea for Daji, for his practicing heartfulness communication, is to bring about unity. There will be differences as we work together in the mission. And he has also said, like, let there be differences, but the work should go. It should come to another level. We should, learn to appreciate the differences. We get a different perspective altogether, and in spite of the differences, have a healthy respect. All this, when we practice our communication the way it is given, will bring about unity. So that is how our mission will be known for unity. Even with the differences, we are united. So all these are tools to come to that final level, that vision, that version that he has, our final version.
Right. Okay. Shall we move further?
Yes.
Okay. So next question is why HC is important? Yes, why HC is important?
We
Shall I
become
go?
more effective. We become more effective by absorbing all these aspects of heartful communication. Our communication skills they develop, and also we become more effective in our communication with others. That overall improves our personality also and effectiveness.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, next question is what inner state of being enable HC?
A meditative state, right?
What inner state?
What inner state of being enable HC?
Okay.
And I couldn't get the question. Please repeat.
What
What inner state
inner
of?
state of being enable HC? HC enable करने के लिए inner state कौन सी होनी चाहिए?
Humility.
Okay.
Meditative
What
mind.
they, yeah, in LPOC they said that start with
Meditative state.
centering, I think. maybe
Whether they are asking a particular state or just because it's a general term, meditative state, na?
inner state. What should be the inner
The
state of
question is what inner state. So whether
what inner
any
state of
specific.
being enable HC?
So whether it is
What
a
you think?
they're asking them a specific particular state or just.
What you think that for HC, what should be the enable inner
It's to
state?
be connected within, to be in a meditative state. When you're in a meditative state, you're connected to the master. So you're
Yes.
always guided by him, your thoughts, actions. So you will not do anything which is not in sync with HC.
I think it,
Definitely.
yeah, I
I
think initially it is the interest and willingness to learn HC, and later on to improve and you know be good at it. I think the meditative state and constant remembrance, those two aspects come into play. But I feel that initially it is the, like, we all were interested in learning this new concept, so that's why we signed up for it. And then once with all these sessions going on, I think we'll, and also with our regular daily practices, I think that will fast track the, let's see, communication.
Yeah. In one of the session, Malvika sister told us no that one preceptor she was talking about that after before answering any question, she first somewhat prayer to herself and then start speaking. So I think she told that that's how she stay get connect with the master or centering something like that, and then she reply. So I think this question is about something like that only. Okay, fourth question is what outer behavior reflect HC?
I think being transparent, whatever you think inside must reflect outside also. Like, you know, we don't have to mask or hide our feelings. Whatever we feel in our heart, it has to come out through the mouth also. I think I read somewhere in the missions literature, where master was saying that the meditation, all they're all well ventilated. With, so the similar to taking the example of that, I think we should also be transparent and not have any barriers or screens to hide our feeling or mask our feeling and be open.
This I have never read in HC documents. I have never read to be transparent. Yes, and to because HC is all about to stop to speak only which is important for the situation.
And to know what not to communicate. The log master said, you know.
Yeah,
So that I have to learn what not to communicate.
yeah,
Even I
because
did
You
it
know,
is the
this.
same problem. This is my problem also that means I speak out all the feelings, but it is not necessary. It turned out to be uh, problematic and at the end. So we have to be need to learn to be quiet or we need to speak, which is when there is important we have to speak, but not all. I feel so.
The what not to speak is much more important. Yes,
Actually,
that
Yeah,
should
yes.
be that we should definitely
and
learn. Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
think,
listen what is not spoken. That also it was there discussed some time back, na?
yes.
Mm.
Listen
I think,
what is not spoken, eh, like the intent behind or the need behind. So
yes,
that
right.
also.
Actually, in the last
So
session, we covered this, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, what is it
So
true? Is it required? And is it positive? I think these three things were the criteria before you speak.
mm,
So, what not to speak, I think, is very difficult.
in even in professional and also in family circumstances, it's very, very important.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
It will give some.
yes, yes.
Also, I have realized that the way I speak, that I have realized and I'm working on it. The way I
Hmm,
speak, put across things does not resonate sometimes with the younger generation. You know, you
hmm.
have to use your words very carefully with the younger generation to convey what you mean. Because their language nowadays is totally different. Their thought process is totally different from the way we were brought. So, and when I mean younger generation, I don't mean the small children, I mean the teenagers and the above, in that early 20s, 30s.
No,
So,
right, right, right.
Gen
yeah,
Z.
so that is the thing where you have to be, because we are used to an authoritarian way of speaking, because our parents used to speak like that, and we used to कि ये
Absolutely right.
ऐसे कितना है या ये है. But now you cannot say this. You have to learn to speak in a different manner. I have to develop a different language altogether, which I am working upon.
Yeah, yeah,
I
Babuji. It
fully,
was
fully agree.
mentioned, na,
Yes.
Babuji used to talk to children with respect. So our kids, they want to be like. I am also teenager daughter. Now she's not teenager. I'm an adult, but they're very careful about this. That we should treat them as an adult, not as a kid.
Hey,
Or we should
treat them as
respect their
friend.
opinion. Yeah, 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 yeah. So we should.
In fact, the present generation, they are more politically correct. This I have seen with my daughter. She will choose her words correctly and express her much better than our generation. We as a generation speak whatever comes to our mind. Her choice or this, I feel they are much more balanced. They will speak, pause and speak and collect their thoughts very well, very politically correct. I will use words like "Arey, that chinky," I may say that offends her a lot. She says it's not acceptable at all, that word. But in our generation, a chinky was a Chinese, but I cannot use a chinky with her around. I had to pause there and choose my word. It's simply not
I,
acceptable for her.
yeah, I totally agree with you, sister. They are more politically correct, and they're also, at least we have to. I personally have to learn from them. It's not about politically correct. Also, they also empathize a lot with the.
Right.
They are more. They have more empathy than
Yes.
us. I feel that way.
Yes, you're right, sister. I don't know
No,
how it has
no.
come.
Just one point I just wanted to make. When we were young, when at least I was young, I could never. The culture was not that you can speak against your father or grandfather or elders. But now the youngsters, they simply don't bother. They will give it back to you.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
And they're more logical. They're very logical.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes they
logic.
will make you
Yes,
realize that they're
they give
right.
it back to you straight away.
Okay.
So ultimately, it's all about balance, like Daji says, that when you speak, you must speak in a balanced manner. You know, HC is all about bringing that balance in our conversation. What to speak, what not to speak, speaking with a lot of love and respect and humility. And so when we do all this, I think things will fall in place.
Yes, we hope
And
so.
pause.
Yes,
Main is pause. Pause before speaking.
yeah, yeah. Pause, pause. Correct.
My elder son always give me a check on my behavior with his friends. He said, "Today you were speaking like an old lady." Okay. And today you are acting like a young girl. Okay. I have to still manage what is the correct way of speaking. He won't
How old is he,
listen.
sister?
He's 12. This year he will turn 13.
Hats off to you.
So now, teenager.
He always say that today you were acting like a girl. You are not a girl, you are my mother. Okay. I have to be little older, but not that older that it looks like a
Okay.
old lady.
Old lady. So all reality check.
Yeah. Okay, so
So our
now
question
this is,
was,
yes.
sorry,
हाँ जी बोलिए संगीत जी.
I'm saying our question was what outer behavior reflects heartful communication. So I think outer behavior would be this only speaking in a balanced tone, not blurting out your feelings. And
Mhm.
your body language also should accompany your words, your
Yes.
facial expression. You may be speaking politely, but your eyes are full of anger. So that should be avoided. So I think it is not easy. It looks easy. It sounds, but it is something which we have to be very, very, very conscious in each and every conversation of ours. Of that, I have to follow this. And as some master had once said, ki before meditation, before saying your prayer at night, you must have a few tears of repentance. नहीं भी आ रहा हो रोना तो मतलब नकली रोना कर लो तो वो फिर असली भी आ जाएगा. So in the same manner, slowly, if we consciously practice, slowly it will become a part of us.
Yeah. Uh, in this week, I don't know where I read there was that write five lines on appreciating good points on yourself. So I told everyone of my family that tell five good points on yourself because many times we keep criticizing ourselves that we become little negative to ourselves. So it was a night conversation with my children, and we all end up with weeping, crying, and hugging each other, and we slept. It was a very nice activity. You all can also try. Okay, so next we will just summarize what we have speak and note it in our journal. It will be a 10-minute activity. Just when you are done, please raise your hand like that. And when all the hand raise, then we will move to the next module. Okay. हाँ, मेरी क्लास चल रही है थोड़ी देर से, बस खत्म होने वाला है। नाश्ता किया तुमने मेरे बच्चे? ओके कृष्णा, बस मैं 10 मिनट में आ रही हूँ। ओके, बस मैं आ रही हूँ। Is everybody done?
Yes, sister.
Yes.
Okay, so now we are at the end of our session. Again, we have to pick two things to practice this week. So many things I have included in my life that I stopped appreciating, and listening skill have been increased a lot. That listening chapter was very well absorbed during Heartfulness Communication program. So I'll practice centering before any conversation this week. One thing. And second thing, let me search.
I'll, the two things which I will follow. First is
Yes.
I'm going to take pranayama for health
Okay.
this week and listening
If
with
you are
observance.
already doing it, so don't.
No, no, not doing it already.
Okay, then
And then
fine.
second will be the listening with observance.
Listening.
That will be the key thing for me this from this session.
Yeah. Actually, those sessions were very nice if we could get the recording of our 7 heartfulness communication sessions. That was very nice. Okay. Anybody, Malti ji, have you decided what the 2 points you will take? I think you have
Lots
already
I
told, no?
lots I need to incorporate, but choosing was very difficult of all this. I would say like being meditative and respond only after pausing, either while I speak or any action. A response verbally as well as any action that is to be taken. I will take a pause. So I would put it as speaking only when required and being meditative and respond only when required. I will say that.
Right. Okay, this pause before speak, it happens, but when we get a very unexpected thing, it doesn't work. I'm also trying it, but many a times we got so unexpected responses that we just don't know what to do. Shamaji, have you?
Yeah, it is same. Copy and paste what Brother Vishwanathan told.
Okay,
Listen with
pranayam.
no,
Uh,
no, listen with absorbency and don't
Acha.
interrupt. And the second is that following that Nulom Vilom Pranayam and deep breathing for meditation. So
Okay.
I
Yes,
do it sometimes.
Anulom
It's not, I don't
Anulam
do it
Vilom is a
regularly.
real good thing which we should
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
practice.
I
And
sometimes
pranayam
do,
helped
sometimes
me a lot.
forget, but I'm now deciding to do
Yes.
it regularly.
Yes. I'm doing this Anulom Vilom daily, but my son says that do Bhastrika, Mama.
Hey
He
Bhagwan.
says, what are you doing? Do
Hey,
Bhastrika. And actually,
Bastrika, people
the
if you are
very
having
beautiful thing is that today's education system, he knows everything about yoga
hmm,
also. I was doing Surya Namaskar. He said, no, Mama, you are very heavy. First lose your weight, then only do yoga. You should start with pranayam. I am very surprised that at this age he knows so much about yoga. He
It's
has
good
taught
thing.
in the school.
hmm,
So this is
and
the reverse
if,
parenting.
Prasanna ji?
if anybody is having high BP, then they should not do Bastrika. That is the only thing. Otherwise, it's very good.
Yes. Prasanna ji?
Yeah, my two intentions for this week is first one is listening and speaking only when required. The second one is trying to be in that meditative state. So that I have to try. I don't. I'm not sure how much I'll progress, but try.
Yes. True. Sangeet ji?
Yes. So I also have set two very lofty goals for myself. First is to practice restraint in giving my views. So basically, speak less. And also, as most of us have said, try to be in a meditative state. And another thing I've added is that my non-verbal communication should also be in sync with HC. That is also very important because many a times we try to show our anger or irritation through our actions when we are not able to speak. So our actions reflect that you might just bang a glass or bang the door. All these things are non-verbal communication. So that also we have to be very careful.
Our body language, you're saying, right?
Yes.
I have noticed something which I want to share. Like some of the time, sometimes we find that we may not agree with others. So I have done this personally. I have distanced. I have stood aloof. But in hindsight, I feel that was not right. I could still be a part of them and be pleasant rather than just move out. So that also I feel I need to improve. I can still be in the group and not speak, but not make others feel that it splits the group. Like I may have a difference of opinion, but I can still be part of the group, not physically cut away from them and stay away. I may have a different opinion. I may express, but I don't need to move out physically also and distance myself. I should learn to be part of the group and appreciate that what they have, even if
Accept
they
the
are wrong.
differences. Accept the
Yeah, agree to
differences.
disagree.
Yes. Yeah, that is
Happy,
very
happily
difficult.
agree to
Very
disagree. Yeah.
difficult.
Very
Very
difficult
difficult.
because I show my expressions on my face. That is my
Yeah.
problem.
That is the problem. I know. I resonate with you totally.
All right.
Yes. So,
I think it's today. It's enough for today.
yes,
Shall we conclude?
the 90 minutes. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you very much. We can join
you.
the program. That's
Thank
Yeah.
fine.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you all.